Let's keep things simple. Excel has a lot of tools and a lot of complexity. It's a great calculating engine. What we're doing is looking at some column totals. We have this spill feature. I despise the spill feature. That means this single computation is going to calculate across these columns. Then there's a simple approach, sum column totals. How about just use sum? Your choice. My job here is to explain this MMULT function. We're going to combine this with the sequence rows in one example. Also going to throw in this MMULT transpose and rows. A very, very, very long narrative. What does that mean? It's complex. This is a complex formula. I'm going to explain this MMULT along with sequence, rows, and transpose. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. We're going to use the MMULT function along with sequence to sum column totals. Now, MMULT is just a multiplier. It's a matrix multiplier. Essentially, we're multiplying array times an array. Well, we have to define the array. In other words, we're going to take A times B, and array A would be A, and array B would be B, and we're going to multiply them. But we have this list here. In simple sense, we want to sum up column totals. Here, we're done. I don't see MMULT or sequence in there. Sequence, if you're not familiar with sequence, allows you to generate a list of sequential numbers in an array. And what's critical here is the various arguments. Okay, we can manipulate this to the point where it just generates ones. If we're looking at an array, right here, we're looking at this array, if we're going to use this MMULT, we're multiplying by something, right? And then MMULT's going to take the result of that multiplication. What we have to do is come up with a way to get 8 times 1 and 36 times 1 and 19 times in order to generate the equivalent of sum equals C5 to C13. We have a name range. We have what I call the anatomy. Here's the write-up. Read it if you need it. I'm going to try to explain this. I may miss a few things. Hence, here's your fallback. We have rows. What are we doing with rows? Returns the number of rows in an array. Then we have the sequence. Then we have MMULT. Here's our formula. We're going to look at MMULT, sequence, rows. Overlook the automaker. Here we have MMULT. We'll go down here. We have MMULT, sequence, MMULT. What is it? We have an array, and we have an array. Basically, we're multiplying array 1 times array 2. What's array 1? Array 1 is sequence 1. Don't we need to multiply by something? And the best way to do that is to look at this sequence and go, we have rows. We're going to multiply our rows by 1. How do we create a 1? And why are we using 1? Well, if we're going to use this multiplier, we have to generate our row. So we have row 1. Then we have rows. What does rows do? It returns the number of rows in the array. What is it? Automaker. Automaker 186 is which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our column. That's our column. Even though we're calling it rows, we're going to define it as our column, F9. And it's 9 columns. Okay, I miscounted. 9 columns. Then we have this start. What does our start do? It's an option. Starting value defaults to 1. I mean, our steps are 0. What we're doing is taking this and we're trying to force sequence to produce 1 for each row. So sequence is going to go, it's going to start at 1. It's going to go down to 9. And it's going to start at 1. There are no steps. So then it has to go down. It starts at 1. If this is correct, this array, rows, should produce all 1s. And then our second array is just going to be, we have this long list of numbers. The way to read this is simply, where's the break here? Okay? So we have 52, 52, 9, 9, 9, 9. And so we're multiplying. Now, if you're a little stumped on this on this sequence deal. We have these rows and the columns and the start and the step. Let me just show you. Okay, if we hit F9 here, we have a 9, right? And we have this 1 as a start in the step. Our outcome is going to be F9, this right here. Let's see if this will fly. F9, 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 F9. We're going to get 1, 1, 1, 1. And you may be scratching your head going, well, how does that work? Sequence, again, has these 4 options. Well, the 2 required and then the 2 optional. What do we have here? We have sequence 1, 9 as shown here. I'm not going to go and do this automaker. We already did that. That's just row 9, rows of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What happens if we start messing around with the start in the step? Well, if we put 0 in 0, we're going to get zeros because we have a start at 0 and a step of 0. What if we put steps of 1? We should get 1, 2, 3 and a sequential. All right, so we're going to start at 0 and we're going up by 1. See that? 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put this back here. What if we put 1 here? Steps at 0. We get 1. So it's going to default to this 1 because we're just asking it to take 1 at a time with 0 steps. That's why we get this very nice, very informative 1s across this column. Keep in mind columns. We're creating this first array and I'm telling you, this is some crazy stuff here. And you see it? Hopefully you see it. And then here we have automaker. We have automaker, and we know if we are messing with automaker, C5 to C13, we're going to need to, you see, we have these numbers here. We're going to need to do something, and we're going to convert those over into, which is going to guard us against any blank cells. Be sure to check out all of our Excel courses. Excel data and text manipulation. We have an advanced beginners and intermediate course. Excel essentials. This is for individuals new to Excel. We have an advanced, excellent beginners, level 1 and level 2, and intermediate level course. Excel formulas, formulas only. We have a beginner, an advanced, and an intermediate level course. Click on any of the links. There's a short video that explains everything about the course. Check it out. We have a blank cell in here with MMULT. It's going to throw an error. We just emptied this. You can see that we're still getting an output. But if we go in here and we remove this, we get this value error. A little creativity, some new tools for those who are not up to date in terms of Excel. You can use this other approach. If you have older versions of Excel, you can use this tool right here. You can use this transpose and get the same results. I will talk in depth about using this in the next tutorial. Thought I'd just introduce the idea here, and you can mess around with it if you need to. But in the end, and I'm one to always keep things as simple as possible, I'm always going to use this, period. I don't know why I would want to use this. This is just too complicated. I don't want this much complication into something that's already, my data is going to be complicated enough. I don't need a formula function to make things even more difficult. But I know in my back pocket, I have this if I need it. I'm using this every chance I can. Read it if you need it. Check out the anatomy. You know my approach here. And if you don't, I always recommend stripping this thing apart like I did here, and then start plugging it around if you don't have the answers. If you can't see this array, if you can't see the rows, if you can't see the sequence, break them down to the point where you can see it. Brad Williams, Excel Prime, thanks for watching.